Huku Yues, Kenyans in America, mumefikiwa. And this one here is a very sad story. Kenyans in America are undergoing alcoholism epidemic. Alcoholism epidemic in this country. And that's the conversation I want to have in the next few minutes. But first, I have a few people I need to thank in the community. These are only super thanks. I want to thank Rashid Mohammed 1199 for your super thank. I want to thank Sheriff Mustafa Sheriff. You are still king of the super thanks. Thank you so much, Sheriff Mustafa Sheriff. I have to figure out how to say it right. Sheriff Mustafa Sheriff for your super thanks. And there is a new cowboy in the community. His name is at Abyssinia Dental Center. At Abyssinia Dental Center. This one here, for those who have been on Keeper Spaces for a while, is Wasike. If you go on my YouTube, there is a conversation there that is a video that is labeled, I worship God in truth and in spirit. That conversation, maybe 3 years ago, maybe more than 3 years ago, was activated by Wasike. This guy is now running a dental clinic in Moyale, in Marsabit, and that is the name of the clinic, Abyssinia Dental Center. Thank you so much, Mr. Wasike. It's interesting to see you grow, and to see you succeed, and to see you create, and to see you build from the infancy of when we know you from 2022, maybe earlier than 2022. Keep winning, Mr. Wasike, at Abyssinia Dental Center in Moyale, Marsabit. Now, Huku US, Kenyans in America, they are drowning in alcoholism. I had a very interesting story with a Kenyan guy in America by way of Canada. A very proud dad of 2 sons. One of the sons is 21 years old. And our conversation dealt on the challenges of Kenyans in America. And he said, there is an epidemic of alcoholism amongst Kenyans in America. Right now, I know somebody who is in the county jail in a different state. He was drinking, he was driving drunk. And not just driving drunk. He was driving an 18-wheeler. Drunk. 27-year-old guy. You remember in episode 3 or 4, we had a conversation with a guy in Dallas that is wasting his life away due to alcoholism, and he got into the same driving drunk. A mistake that cost him 12,000 US dollars. It's on episode 2 or 3. It says something about Huku Yues, Kenyan in America, in DWI problems. The guy I'm alluding to, I am not at liberty to give the details of the whole story because it's still developing. But he was on Twitter Spaces driving an 18-wheeler drunk, and he was in an accident. He was arrested, and now he is in a county jail someplace far away from here. So when I'm talking to this 41-year-old father of 2 boys, very well adjusted kids, and he asked me this question: why are even women, Kenyan women in America, drinking? And my response to him was, they are slaves of the freedom. And you will hear that conversation, but I never got a chance to expound on what I meant with slaves of the freedom in America. These people have come to America and they have escaped a conservative country that is Kenya. African Christian society that is very conservative. We never even view Kenya as a conservative society, but it's a very conservative society. They have escaped that society that is very judgmental, and they have come to this freedom where nobody judges you, where nobody questions you, where morality is subjective, and they have been enslaved into the practice of the perceived liberties that America offers. You know, there is that little video of a kid talking to his mother. It's like a 4 or 5-year-old, maybe 4-year-old. And he's telling the mother, you can be anything. If you believe in yourself, you can become everything. And you can build yourself, and you can create, and you can overcome, and you can become everything. That's Paco. That's Paco of America. That is what America offers. The unlimited potential to become everything. And these people, after escaping a society that is judgmental and very limiting, and drinking and smoking is frowned upon, they immerse themselves here into this perception of liberty and freedom, and they get enslaved by the same freedom. So in a country that offers you a pathway, even in your mid-30s and mid-40s, to still go back to school, acquire a career and succeed, in that society, they choose now to abuse the freedoms. In it, alcohol. They choose now to abuse the power that is given to the woman by the system, to abuse their own relationships. That's how they get their men in trouble. Because now the woman here is believed. The liberties here, the power of the woman, they get enslaved by those same liberties. Where you could build and create and become great and do anything and start from everywhere, because this is the land of opportunities. There is no other country that offers opportunities better than America. You can argue with it and you still come back here. The only takeaway from those freedoms and those liberties is to abuse them, and so therefore get ensnared and get enslaved in the same freedoms. So now they are slaves of the freedom, which was now the answer to the question I gave the guy. Majority of the people who have been deported from the US to Kenya, they are either related to alcoholism, which is now drinking and driving, and they are related to relationships with fellow Kenyans. Slave to the freedom. And they are wasting away. They are wasting away. You know that thing about America, the freedom to bear arms? That one also can become an ensnaring slavery, because you have this need to exercise the right to carry arm, and then that firearm consumes your life. Your life now is fixated around that firearm. The same freedom enslaves you. And even the attempt to argue whether you actually need a weapon, it cannot happen, because it's covered by the liberty, it's covered by the freedom, it's covered by the amendment, it's covered by the right to bear arm, it's in the Constitution. And then it consumes you, and it shapes your life to a point where your life now revolves around the weapon. The same way like getting a pet. Once you get a dog at home, your life revolves around getting that dog. You go on vacation, you have to take the dog to a daycare, or you have to bring somebody who is going to take care of the dog. You plan your work, you plan your vacation, you plan your free time, you plan your life, the entire of it, around this chihuahua of yours. It has consumed you and enslaved you. That's what pets do. That's what weapons do. And now for Kenyans, that is what alcoholism and the freedom of the woman to get the man in trouble with a 911 call. That power, that machismo. Huku ni Amerika, mutajua. Huku sio Kenya penye mnanyanyasa wanawake. Hapa wanawake wako na right. That one now consumes them. And now this Kenyan woman in America is walking around as a slave of that freedom, perceived liberty. And in the absence of it, their life would be completely full. But because of it, they have become slaves to freedom, enslaved by the same liberties they perceive to pursue and practice. That conversation is showing up in a few days. And you hear those Halloween stories of Kenyans that have lost hope because of alcoholism. And there will be more stories to come. This one here is also an invitation for the Kenyans in America to call the number +1 512 738 6400. Call that number. Share your stories. Share your frustrations. Be heard. Let your story get out there. And I don't want to do the cliche, the stupid thing of saying don't suffer alone. No. This is not a gimmick. This is real life. But if you have a story you want to share, like the guy in Dallas, like the guy in West Texas, like the guy in the northern state, like the guy in Georgia, call that number. +1 512 738 6400. Let's talk. Do not suffer in silence. Men are starting to have those conversations. Let's have those conversations. Stay sober, my friend.